Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a fascinating guest in studio today. It's Tadek Sampson, and he's the buzz boss. So you're going to here to tell me about mosquitoes, and more importantly, how you and your company help me battle mosquitoes.
Yes.
So let's get started with, okay, it's springtime, mosquitoes are coming. How do we know if it's going to be a good year or a bad year? What determines that?
So mosquitoes, the mosquito population is entirely dependent on weather. And so the two things, one is how much water they get. So if there's lots of snowfall, then there's going to be a good ground saturation. Okay. And then if there's lots of rainfall, then there'll be these accumulations of water, and that'll activate the eggs. And then as soon as it starts heating up, if it gets above 75 degrees, then you'll start to see them hatching in large numbers. And over 75 degrees, mosquito can go from egg to adult in about a week.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it happens fast.
And there's a lot of eggs.
There's a lot of eggs.
So let's ask that age-old question, why do mosquitoes bite?
Yeah, so mosquitoes don't actually feed on blood. They feed on nectar, males and females. But females, in order to produce eggs, they have to get a blood meal because they need that protein to make their eggs. So only the females bite, and that's why they bite us. Yeah.
Wow. Well, and lots of us, because they come in what seems to be droves, what can we do to protect ourselves? Obviously, we can get our yard sprayed by you guys, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
If you have too many of them, it's a great way to go.
Yeah.
But what are some other common sense things if we're out in a park or at a concert or that we can do?
Yeah. So exactly. If you're out at a park or you're out hiking, the best thing that you can do, gold standard for getting rid of the mosquitoes, or keeping them off of you, is DEET. Any type of repellent with DEET in it. That's been the gold standard for 50 years. But there are other types of more natural insect repellents, but the challenge with those is generally you have to reapply them more often, especially if you're sweating. And so you could be reapplying those as much as an hour, every hour, or every half an hour to be effective. So the other things that you can do, which is wear long sleeve clothing, long sleeve pants, long sleeve shirt, and light colored clothing.
Now, I always hear the light colored clothing, and I think, well, that's smart because it's hot and I don't want to wear black.
Right.
But there's something else to that, right?
Yes. So there's a couple different ways that mosquitoes are attracted to us. The number one way is through their sense of smell. So they have a sense of smell. It's 10,000 times more powerful than ours. We have 300 different chemical cues that they pick up on from us. And so that's the main thing. And then the second thing is their eyesight. And they can see us from a certain distance away, and they're more attracted to dark colors, contrast, and movement. And then as well, as they get closer to us, they can feel our heat from about 3 to 4 feet. They actually pick up on our body heat. And so when you're wearing light color clothing, it does more to mask that body heat that they're picking up on.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Now, I always joke that I think mosquitoes like me more than they may like you.
Right.
But I do think there's something that some people are more sensitive to them.
Yes.
Is there some science behind that?
There is science behind that. They're finding that certain people, all those chemical cues that we give off, certain people emit stronger cues than others. So they're attracted to carbon dioxide. So if you give off more through your breath, or lactic acid. So if your sweat may have a different makeup than someone else's, they'll be more attracted to you.
Well, it must be all of it there. So there are other things though in our yard that we can maybe do to keep the mosquito population down.
Yes. The biggest thing, standing water. If you can get rid of your standing water in your yard, that is the number one thing that you can do. And so, you hear it all the time, but it's bird baths, wading pools. You want to make sure those are cleaned out once a week.
Oh, wow. That's once a week.
Yeah, because otherwise, like I said, they can develop in a week. So if you don't clean them out on a regular basis, there will be breeding there. And then same thing with, pots. Garbage cans, different things like that. If they're collecting water, there's going to be mosquito breeding, and you have this mosquito factory going on in your yard. You really don't want that. Same thing with gutters. If your eaves, troughs, and gutters are blocked, then they're going to accumulate water. Any standing water, mosquitoes will be breeding in.
No matter what size standing water, too, because I think we all think, oh, standing water, I got a big puddle back here,
Yeah.
but they can really breed in just about any drop of water.
Absolutely. So a mosquito can lay up to, or mosquitoes can lay up to 1,000 eggs within a cup of water in the season.
Wow.
So it doesn't take much, and you can get a lot of eggs just from a small amount of standing water.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Now, and I did it this past year, you can go and you can buy plants that supposedly repel mosquitoes and have them grow around your yard.
Yeah.
I bought a couple, I'm not sure it worked. But what do you think about that? Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea?
Well, I mean, anything you can do to help is a good idea, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is some science behind marigolds, chrysanthemum flowers, garlic. That's one of the products that we use to keep mosquitoes away. So
Garlic?
Yep, garlic.
Okay.
It does
Helping
seem
with
to
vampires,
work.
too?
Yeah, but anything that drinks blood seems to not like it. So yeah, there are some plants that mosquitoes do seem to avoid. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about. So I've done that. I've keep my standing water down. I may have bought some plants.
Yeah.
I'm wearing some light color clothing, and I'm still needing some service in my backyard. When you come in, what do you do? How does it work?
A couple things. Well, first thing we do is we make sure that all those things that are cultural, so things that mosquitoes will be attracted to your yard and want to hang out in your yard, that could be something like dense bushes. Anywhere where it's damp and shady, if we can reduce the number of areas where they might be hiding or harboring, because mosquitoes have soft bodies and they can't stay out in the sun, they can't stay out in the wind, they'll dehydrate and die very quickly.
Well, they're sensitive, aren't they?
Yeah, so they hide in these damp, dark areas, and so we help you identify those and reduce those as much as possible. But then as well, we'll use a mist in those areas. And mist products that they really don't like, they'll stay away from those, like the undersides of leaves. We'll create a coating on those that they'll stay away from for 3 weeks at a time, and then you come back out and do that, and do it again on a regular basis.
So the spray that you're putting out, you mentioned it had garlic in it. What else does it have in there? Is it I'm assuming it's family and pet friendly.
Yeah, so the products that you use have to be safe for people, pets, and wildlife.
Yeah.
And so we use there's a synthetic product that's based on chrysanthemum flowers, which mosquitoes can't take, and repels them for a long time. And then actually garlic. We use a garlic. It's 700 pounds of garlic. And you take that 700 pounds, juice it into about a gallon, and we'll mix that with a little vegetable oil and some other things, all natural. And that will actually, the sulfur in the garlic keeps the mosquitoes away for a good 3 weeks usually.
Wow,
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Taddex, thanks so much for stopping by and giving us a little insight on mosquitoes and what you do. That's exciting. And I'm really excited about BuzzBoss and the products that you use. So
Thank
thanks
you,
so much
Liz.
for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.